Welcome to the Reinvented Life with Pamela Chanel David. Do you want to step up your game? Pursue your dreams. Be the best version of yourself. The Reinvented Life is here to help. The Reinvented Life is about courage. It's about staying relevant. It takes grit. It defies gravity. It's about taking inventory of where you are today and where you want to go. Embrace change. Make things possible and reinvent your life. Call in with questions at 888-994-4995. Now, it's time to reinvent your life with Pamela Chanel.
And there she is. How are you?
I am great. I am so excited about this show, but I want some of that pizza. Oh my goodness.
My gosh. Well, we have an idea for you. You know that seminar we talked about doing?
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to bring in some of their wares into the studio and bring it here. So that's another option we'll talk about.
Oh, I can't wait. We have such a fun launch for that, and whatever we do, I want that pizza in some way.
You got it.
Sounds so good.
I can only eat one. I don't eat pizza, but today I had to make an exception because my goodness gracious, is it delicious. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
I'm with you.
Because it's right around the corner. You're going to be here for a book launch.
I am. I'm so excited to be there, and I'm so excited about this show, bringing this vulnerability forward to people, not just in their life, but bringing it into their business. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a game changer, and could not be doing this segment with two more favorable people because you guys really are the essence of what it's all about, which is constantly being open to change, constantly being open to reinvention, and moving things forward in a new way. That's the essence of what we're going to talk about, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, Florida is an interesting place. We're very seasonal here. And unfortunately, season gets shorter and summers get longer. So season here probably ends in June, and we run until really November. It used to be the Jewish holidays. People would start coming back. October for us in this industry is one of our slowest months, which we get through some, and you're right, I'm ready to get geared up and ready for Q4, and October hits, and everyone retreats, and then this war breaks out, right? Two wars, right? We've got Ukraine and Russia, and we've got the Middle East, and what it does impacting us as far as interest rates and housing rates. And we've had to cancel a couple events. We spoke to our good friends at the movie theater, and their movie sales are down the past 2 weeks. It seems like suddenly everyone is at this halt and at the beck and call of their television, which wasn't anything that we had planned on this segment. But talk about being fluid, right? This is the ebbs and flows of business.
Right. And I think that's a perfect way to entree, because no one can ever anticipate, even grapple or get a hold of the tragedy that we're watching us unfold in front of us. So I think what we have to do, and you're describing the culture traditionally of what happens to businesses in Florida. I'm coming to you, as many know, from California. And I think that's the first place to start, is that the nature of our businesses have shifted. And we have to go from a local to global perspective. So any places that people are listening or watching this from that are seasonal in nature need to start with the reality of what can their businesses be on a more global perspective. And during the down season, maybe in a local part of where they are, they can ramp up, which is what we'll get into their businesses online, how they're reaching people, even if they have local services. It's amazing what I've come up with clients to take their business more internationally. And I think that's where we have to start, because the focus of the world today is what is going wrong. And if we want our businesses to go from surviving to thriving, we must, it's an absolute must, concentrate on what we can do right. Hope that makes sense and a good place to start.
It does. It makes a whole lot of sense. I got to tell you, always constantly looking to better our delivery, where we're putting it, how we're putting it. This is one of the reasons I've been with the radio station for 20 years, and these products have to be put on the bigger venues. And I've been talking to my son and to Dawn this morning, I would like to open up an app television set. So AMP is going to have its own app with TV on it. We're looking at different ways of doing that. It's not cheap to be able to deliver content, but it's on the OTT market. Now, we have a little experience with OTT, even though you don't know it, with Roku in Europe, because it's a different way of delivering it. But psychologically, if people start believing in their products more, they will take it to other dimensions, other ideas, trying something, even if you don't know if it's going to be successful, not successful. Take advantage of the strengths you have, because it improves the weaknesses that you live with as a business.
Can I ask you, without revealing obviously your clients, maybe some specifics on the type of companies you've worked with and how you've changed it? Like, is it a t-shirt company? Is it a makeup company? So
Well,
it
I
becomes a
think
little relatable.
a very good place to start, and what I wanted to share with you next, and Freddie, it's right along the lines with what you're talking about, is actually educating people on how, through your new platform, through your new app, they can achieve some success. And Dawn, to your question, during the pandemic, and it's a very similar situation now, in that in many ways people are retreating, or local businesses aren't getting the foot traffic, as an example, and they put themselves in the box of a local business. So let me share with you a client that I had very early on during the pandemic in 2020, and they were a local Italian restaurant for generations. The restaurant had been in business for over 50 years, and it was now the grandchildren of the founder that are running it. A local restaurant doesn't really traditionally have a way to go global or even international with their business. They're serving food locally. So, of course, like many restaurants throughout the country during the pandemic, they made a shift. They didn't necessarily have the indoor dining as they were used to. They actually increased their to-go business. And that part in and of itself wasn't that unusual. But here's the part that actually changed the trajectory of the restaurant. Upon my recommendation, we took that to another level. We took their local clientele and then expanded it to clientele everywhere by taking them into their kitchen. 50 years of history, 50 years of incredible recipes that they were serving up, food they were serving up to only local people. We took them into the kitchen, we brought camera in, we actually started filming the chef, and the clientele moved from actually dining in to creating the recipes that were so well known by this restaurant on their own in their own kitchens.
So they didn't feel as if, Chanel, they didn't feel as if they were going to be losing business by giving up their recipes?
Correct, because traffic had slowed down so much during the pandemic, or even now as people are hesitating going out. they shifted from the thought process of scarcity, which would be we're going to give up business by giving away our recipes, to they actually created and monetized it for their business. People ended up purchasing a membership into their cooking school.
Wow.
And it was a shift in mindset from scarcity to abundance. There are still people, even if they have the recipe, even though if they know how to make something, they want the privilege of going out and being served and the experience
True.
of not having to make it and clean it up. But there are people that wanted this, what we ended up calling virtual cookbook. And people bought a membership. They got a weekly cooking lesson. They got to know the chef on a more intimate basis, because oftentimes you can go to the restaurant for years but not necessarily know who's in the kitchen. So what was great about it is the chef actually could tell stories of their upbringing in Italy, how they transitioned from going from Italy to America and bringing these recipes with them.
So it brings
What
in
it
like
did-
the transparency and the vulnerability of making it relatable, right? Making business relatable.
It became very relatable, and it stood as a model. And the most important business message that we can start out with is, how do we create business models that are duplicatable? So whether it be, funny as this sounds, the local car dealership or the local locksmith or the local dry cleaner or the local art business, what they have in common is they are serving local patrons, local clientele. And the first thing in transitioning and reinventing anything, whether it be life or business, is shifting to a new thought. So in this case of a local Italian restaurant, shifting from a local to global was the pivotal change they needed. And then we helped put in place things that could support that. So if there
It's
is a
interesting.
local,
We had somebody come in today, and we've always really stayed away from doing religious or political shows and taking a stance on that, just because of the nature of the controversy of what it is. But a lot of things that we've done lately have become spiritual based and a little more religious based. And then a show walked in today, a gentleman walked in who wants to create this platform and put it on the radio. And it's not about being Christian or Catholic or Jewish. It's about the journey of spirit, hope, and faith, and the journey that he has taken. And we're actually brokering weekend time, which you talked about, that we've never done before, to put in a faith-based radio show. And it's not about, and we talked about it this morning, what you believe in, as long as you believe. Doesn't matter whether you're green, purple, Catholic, Christian, atheist. As long as you have hope, there's hope.
Well, the object of the game, you should believe in yourself. And he believes his journey has brought him to this point, and he's going to put it out there. And you don't have to listen. You can listen. But if it gives you a glimmer of hope and says you too can have this hope, we all have it, with making a movie with Sally Bernard. And her movie is simply called Aldo. And you have to understand what that means. Finding your inner voice. That's all this movie is about. It's remarkable.
That's what you think it's about?
That's what it is for me.
Oh, see, it's not funny because I have a different take on it.
But this is what it's all about. You can have 100 takes. You know, it's funny. Amazon is the biggest company in the world. And if I tell you Amazon, everybody knows what it does. It sells everything. There isn't anything that they don't sell, that they deliver it right to your door in 100 different ways. Or you could pick it up if you want it even faster. They started out small, and they've grown into this convenient way of shopping. People tell me all the time, oh, if I couldn't live if I didn't have my Amazon.
But do you feel it's, I don't want to say a cop-out, but almost like a throwback to COVID, We have to pivot again. We're trying to survive again. It feels like we're always, small businesses are always in this survival mode, where big business, they're just going and soaring corporate.
There's a lot of companies, big companies.
Although I guess in San Francisco, you've seen a lot of stores closing
What
in your
about the
downtown
banks?
areas,
You've
right?
seen banks close down. They have problems too.
Yeah, so it's all relative to scale. So whether, I think the biggest detriment to business is categorizing itself, quite frankly, into small business, mid business, large business. The key to it is start out with the basics. Whether you're a $100,000 a year business, $1 million a year business, or $1 billion a year business, a large business doesn't sail through the trajectory of change any easier than a small business. So I prefer to think of a business as a business rather than put it into a category. In fact, the larger volume actually is up against a harder trajectory because of the numbers and the audience that they're serving is so much bigger than a smaller volume business. So if a business
I got a
starts
question.
Interesting.
I got a
Don't
question.
categorize yourself.
But I got a question.
Okay.
Is it always comparing yourself to what you did last year to be successful? In other words, if I sold $1 last year, does success start at $1.01? Or does the success start that I'm there for the second year? Where does success, how do you measure success?
Okay, so there's a couple answers to that. One, I never suggest with my clients that they compare themselves to last year, because who's to say that they actually maximize last year? In other words, the way to measure success is to take a look very carefully and very truthfully about where a business is, and then start to set some new metrics about where you want to be. So the dollar success of a business can be measured not necessarily against something that was, but can start to be measured against metrics of where you want to be. That's number one. Number two, and even more important today, is the psychological, is the emotional success that any kind of business owner, business leader, CEO, entrepreneur is having with doing what they're doing. I'm going to give you an example, another example, Dawn, of a reinvention of a local business that I worked with. And it's going to speak to this. So there was a local shoe store that I was working with back in 2020. Sold shoes locally. That's what they knew. That's what they knew for decades. And they never thought of it in any other way than that. But the business continued to decline over years, probably from about 2010, 2011, all the way up through 2020. And there was a lot of factors of that. The demographics in the neighborhood were changing. Amazon and buying shoes online, whether it be Amazon or other major shoe companies, were escalating in terms of their power to the consumer, and a lot of other reasons why this business was declining. So if, Freddy, to your point, you took a look and measured the success in, let's say, 2019 against 2018, you wouldn't be doing yourself justice, because the business had already declined from its potential. So setting new metrics was the key. But now you're in the middle of the pandemic. Customers don't want to come and have their traditional shoes tried on and being so close to the person in front of them. So how did we solve that with them? We looked at the strength that they did have. They had tremendous style discernment. They had tremendous education on fitting people with shoes. And we took a look at, again, what they did have. So the strengths of what they did have versus what they didn't have, which was foot traffic, good demographics, up against the giants, the gorillas in the shoe industry. And we modified what they did. And this is the key. There was no one out there doing shoe seminars on how important good fit with your shoes are and how it affected posture and how it affected overall health and how you could still have all that and still find style. And instead of becoming up against it, it was a matter of join forces. And they became a referral to other shoe companies, worked out arrangements with those shoe companies so that they were paid, in essence, referral fees for every single one of those pairs of shoes that were bought because of their recommendations. It was a total mindset shift of what happened. And this is something that every business could do. They can take a look at what is it that they are doing right and deliver that to their consumers in a new way.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the importance of the end of this quarter. Why is it so important? And then you've got some exciting things coming up. So hang tight. More to come on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be right back with Mindset of Success with Pamela Chanel David. Be right back.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now. Operators are standing by.
Love the Brooklyn Cafe? Don't miss out on some of the latest merch we have available. Need a new shirt? The Brooklyn Cafe has you covered. We have a variety of shirts in all sizes, ranging from the classic cafe shirt to the highly coveted colorful hot dog shirt. Need something for cold weather? Why not grab one of our cafe hoodies? Or you can snuggle up with one of our soft silk touch fabric blankets. The Brooklyn Cafe has everything you need, from clothing about the show to our signature coffee blends and mugs. Get it while supplies last.
Ant Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddy S.
And we're back. You know, it's interesting because you want to keep momentum going, you know, and I'm afraid that if I keep my eye off the prize, that the momentum that we've been building up is going to stop. So every day it's another new adventure. See, in our business, it's an everyday occurrence. Success for me is every day to try. You don't have to be successful, but you got to try. And this is another episode. I love talking to her in California. I think a lot of people talk about doing this. A lot of people swear they're going to do this, and very few people do it.
Well, I'm excited. So we only have about 3 minutes left. You have a new book that's coming out the first of the year, and we're going to be doing a book launch down here in Florida, I believe, next month.
Yes, we are going to do the pre-launch there in Florida. Again, I think it's taking a more
unmute yourself.
A larger, bigger perspective.
Unmute you. You got to unmute you.
Muted.
Okay, you're good. Say that again.
I didn't do anything. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Oh, good. I didn't touch it. I'm glad you can hear me. No, I'm just saying it's so exciting to be able to take things outside of your local geographic area and bring it otherwise. And there's no place I'd rather launch than with the energy and the creativity that you all have established there. So very excited about it. We're going to do a pre-launch with you down in Florida in December about this book. And it's about exactly, Freddie, what you already touched on, which is one of belief. And when you believe, it is so powerful. So that is what our book is about. It is actually the disbeliefs and the limiting beliefs that people have that's stopping them. So the success comes from turning that around. And again, no place we'd rather do that than with all of you that is in constant mode of reinvention.
We're really excited. I know we're looking at the middle of December to do this launch. I believe December 14th.
December 14th, yes.
December 14th. Okay. Well, like I said, the belief about trying, about making an effort, about doing the things that people say you're never going to do it. I love it when they tell me you're not going to get that done. Oh, it's impossible. But now they don't do that anymore. Now they sort of look at me sideways and they go, I think he's going to pull this off. And I love it. I love when it works. I love it when it doesn't work, but it does work. And I love it when it doesn't work, but you tried. And at the end of the day, you find a way of saying, listen, next time we do this, we're going to do it better. That's what I love. And the book coming out, the message being sent, just having you on the set from here, East Coast, West Coast, where we talked about this for years to get this accomplished. To me, it's a home run. Absolutely a home run.
We're really excited.
And I know we're limited and we're saying goodbye, but I'd love to leave this nugget for all the business owners, all the people running businesses, all the entrepreneurs, everyone out there in terms of business is constantly be in a state of evaluation, constantly be in a state of taking inventory about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Just because it's been one way doesn't mean that even tomorrow, 30 days from now, 90 days from now, or a year from now, it needs to be done in the same way. Environments change, conditions change, and it's helping businesses keep relevant in accordance with that change that becomes that game changer thing.
I love it. This is such an exciting segment. I know you're going to be back on Wednesday for the Reinvented Life Show. We're going to continue this on Thursdays through the end of the year.
I love it. I love the concept of it. I love to see it come together. Hopefully, maybe there'll be a concert when you show up with the timing. It'll be nice. It'll be perfect because we want to put you on stage with us as well. November 12th, we're going to be at the Sun Cove Amphitheater. We're going to be on stage. I told the crew I'm going to give you a 2-hour window for you to display.
She's not here in November. She's here in December.
I know, but it's still with this program.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving them an opportunity to be on stage, and this is their opportunity to tell 3,000, 4,000 people who we are. I mean, how many opportunities in life? And I tell them, look around you. How many people can you point and say they had that opportunity? And they all look at themselves and say, you know, you're right. You got to take a chance, and you got to do it. Calculating success is always the goal, and it all begins with believing in yourself.
So thank you so much, Chanel, for joining us. More to come.
Thank you for having me. Info at the Reinvented Life. For anyone that's listening, watching this, want to reach me. You know, we're doing great things in collaboration, and this is a perfect example of how to increase businesses aligned with each other.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to see you soon. More information to come.
See you soon.
Have
All
a great
right.
one.
Thank you, hon. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to The Reinvented Life with Pamela Chanel David. Tune in each week so we can work and grow together to become the best version of ourselves. Keep striving, keep dreaming, keep working, and embrace change. You may contact Pamela Chanel at info@thereinventedlife.com.